Hello everyone, welcome to Study UTech. This is video lecture series on basic electrical engineering, and in lecture 1 this is about the introduction to power electronics. Power converter is basically about the power electronics. So before starting the lectures, let's have a look on the important things. Well, before watching the video lectures, you follow all these points that I have mentioned here. You get the maximum benefit from watching these video lectures. Okay, so make sure this is a distraction free convenient time for you. Okay, you can watch these videos at your convenient time. If you're watching the videos in the night, it's okay. Then at least stay from the distraction, stay away from the distractions. Okay, so that you can concentrate fully on whatever we are discussing. Next, keep your mobile phone in silent mode so that you can concentrate fully. So that is the point. Now the case is that if you are using your mobile phone to watch these videos, then it's okay. I don't have anything to say. Anything. Okay. Keep a notebook with you, and if possible, keep some colored pens. Okay, I will be using here different colors, so then you can also do the same thing. Okay, so next is pause the video and write down in a notebook whenever it is required. Keep a copy with you. Write down the equations or circuit or whatever it is, whatever you think you should write, so you can take the notes on your notebook. Next, for better understanding and concept building, watch the videos sequentially because they are interlinked. All these videos are very much of interlinked, and they are sequentially. They have been arranged. So I think if you have if you are watching this video sequentially, that seems okay. But if you are watching a particular video, lecture 9, then all the related things keep in mind. Okay, so other videos, I will hope in that case that you know all those things. Next is videos are of not very lengthy, so you don't have to be engaged for long hours for a particular topic. Though 1 to 2 lectures or few lectures have become more lengthy, that's because of drawing the things here in this computer that took the time. Anyway, so next is watch the videos as many times as possible for better understanding. Okay, so that's it. Now let us have some introduction to the power electronics. What is power electronics? Well, before exactly discussing what the power electronics is, I think we should know about the human history a bit. That will lead us to the question, that is why the power electronics is required or not. Okay, so let's have some time travel. Okay, so I am here at 1785. What happened that time? Okay, let me take a color. That is here, that is a landmark. Here, James Watt invented steam engine. But before the invention of the steam engine, it was a muscle age, like the humans and the different animals. They were used, their muscles were used to carry the things from one place to another place. So we call it the muscle age. Okay, so the environment was clean that time also. Now what happened with the invention of this James Watt steam engine? The the rail, the other things came to the picture, and that makes the human labor, that reduced the human labor. Okay, and around 100 years, more than 100 years, then it was a okay, so more than 100 years then came after the invention of this James Watt steam engine, the IC engine, that other things came to the picture. And that was a cutting edge technology at that point of time, you can say, because that is reducing the human labor. Okay, so that is, we can call the mechanical age from this 1785 to more than 100 years. That is another landmark here. That is the period of that is the time when Tesla, you know, the Nikola Tesla invented the commercial induction motor. Okay, so with the induction motor invention, that is a Tesla Edison, they came their time. So AC and DC. Okay, so the electricity was also commercialized that time. Okay, so at that time, you know, this 1885 and 88, that was a time when induction motor was developed. So there is an interesting story between Tesla and Edison that is called the war of current. I will tell that thing later on in some other videos. So that was the, we can call the mechanical age, okay, the machines, the age of machine. Well, now what happened after the introduction of this commercial electricity induction motor, the different, the electricity, the power plants were etc. They came to the to the existence, and that we call the age of electrical age. So many electrical devices were invented during this time. Now there is another landmark, that is 1948. That is here the semiconductor was invented, transistor. Okay, so transistor was invented in 1947-48, that time. That was the biggest invention of this in this human history, you can say, because that invention changed the course of human history drastically. Okay, so that is, you can say, the age of electrical or the electrical age. But right after this it started the electronics age, because after the invention of this semiconductor device, the everything became semiconductor is very small in size, and you can make the logic device like the transistor can be used in the logic 0 1, or I mean what I'm trying to say is that transistor can be used as a switch. So based on that, so different semiconductor device were also invented, and that started the electronics age. Okay, another invention during this period 1948, few landmarks are there. I will mention all those things here. Okay, so one is 1957. There SCR was developed. SCR, what is the full form of SCR is silicon controlled rectifier. So why it is important? Because we have to reach up to 2018. Okay, we are at right now 1957. What happened in 1948? In 1948, semiconductor was invented. Okay, the transistor, but they were the low voltage and currents were low. But then the people were trying to think, can I use these semiconductor devices in higher voltage and current ratings? That was the question, and the answer was yes. That is, the SCR is a device that can be used in higher voltage and current ratings. That is a silicon controlled rectifier. That was the starting point when all these semiconductor devices were used in the industries. Okay, so 1957, 58, 59, 60s, that time. During that time, what happened? The semiconductors were used in industries. Okay, industrial control, etc., etc. In that purpose, semiconductor were used. At that time, this subject was called the subject which deals with the semiconductor device uses in the industrial applications are called the industrial electronics. Industrial electronics. Okay, so that is a during 1960s. So the industrial electronics. Then came in the 1970 75. Then was the what to say, the ICs were developed, integrated circuit. You know, integrated circuits. In a single chip, many circuits are they're inside this semiconductor. That is an integrated circuit. Okay, so with this invention of this integrated circuit, then came the processor. First processor was developed during the mid 70s, if I am not wrong, that much it can be 1972 73, that time. Okay, so the processor was developed, computer processor. Then 1980s 90s, okay, that goes on, many things came to the picture. That is, the internet came, the most, and the computer was developed into during 1980 70 80, that time computer technology, that was another revolution. That is a computer technology. Computer was invented. It was invented more I mean before this time, but it was commercially rather it can be said that it was being just, I mean hugely it was, the computer is was being used. Okay, then the internet technology came, communication technology, you can say the internet technology came. Then 1990s, 200, now we are reaching at the 2018. And today's technology is AI, the artificial intelligence. This has become the buzzword in our technical field, that is artificial intelligence. We don't know what will happen right after 5 to 10 years or 10 to 15 years, we do not know, but somehow this is the scenario, that is the history of human civilization. This was one landmark steam engine, then Tesla induction motor, then many things were there in between these two, but I have taken the important ones, the transistors, then SCR, and in that way we came down to 2018, the artificial intelligence. Here, the beautiful picture is showing that the growth of human being, now they are moving to this mobile phone. Okay, so that is they are calling the age of mobiles. Anyway, I have got this picture from the internet. Well, so this is about the human civilization. So where is the power electronics in this case? I mean, in this scenario, why I have interest? I am telling all these stories because the semiconductor, the most, I mean, the what to say, the which changed the course of human history. That is the invention of this semiconductor device at 1948. But right after that, 1957, the device SCR was invented. That is, we call the subject that we were calling the industrial electronics, nowadays they are called as the power electronics. Okay, so the power electronics, the study of power electronics started from here 1957, and we are here 2018. And this semiconductor has penetrated not only the industrial control applications. Right after the industrial control applications, they entered the power electronics, that is a semiconductor device, entered to the human entertainment, human comfort, refrigerator, TV, everywhere there is a power electronics. Okay, the semiconductor devices, they comes under the category of this studies we call the power electronics. The machines, all the machines, they are controlled by these semiconductor devices, power electronic devices. Anyway, so this is about the power electronics. So I think you can understand why power electronics is so important, because you can't stay without the computer today, without the refrigerator, without the AC and all those things, and the application of the semiconductor is there. So that is a power electronics. Now the power electronics is, I don't like to go to details of these things, AI and the power electronics. Power electronics is like the if you take the human being, okay, if you take the human being, here is a computer, we can put the logic in the computer, but who is doing the thing actually? That is the hand, that is actually the power electronics. You can think it in this way. Okay, so the computer and the power electronics, they are complementary, I mean complementary to each other. One cannot work, I mean with the other one, without the other one. Without computer technology, without processor, you can't do anything with the power electronics devices. And if you have only the computer, then how, what you will do with this logic? Okay, so it's like software hardware combination. This is the software part, this is the hardware part. Anyway, so this is the scenario, and human beings history is this one, starting from this. And now we will study here the power electronics. Okay, so in this slide I will show you, I've taken all these figures from the internet, where it is showing the power electronics, where the power electronics are being used, power semiconductor devices. These are the actually power electronics that we study. Okay, in power electronics we study all these things, analog digital things, control theories. There is application of power electronics, computer aided design, simulation, all these things, they are related to the, this is a multidisciplinary technology. Only power electronics you will study is nothing like only power electronics, they are not related to others. So power electronics is related to everything. That's why it is called the multidisciplinary technology. And here in this figure they are showing the applications where there is an application of the power electronics, the railways, HVDC, high voltage DC transmission, and the switching regulators. These are very interesting thing. The electric vehicles, okay, where there is a everything, there is a in every small part there is an application of the power electronics. Okay, so this is the thing. So power electronics is actually about the conversion of electrical power with the help of semiconductor devices in most efficient way. I will tell these things whatever it is written in the red color in the next slide. So we will study here. Look what I have written here. uh, One is AC to DC. Look, the power electronics is like the source of electricity is this one source. You have the load, like this is a AC, like you need DC here. Then who will do the conversion? Then AC to DC converter. You can do the conversion and you can feed it to the DC. Let's say your available power is DC. You need AC. Then you can have the DC to AC conversion. Like many things you can do. DC to DC conversion, AC to AC conversion. Basically, power electronics is the interface between the source and the load. It's like this is PE and this is the load side and this is the source side. Power electronics will shape the form of electricity, either it is AC to AC, or if it is AC it will convert it to the DC, whatever the form is required. That is, everything is possible through these power electronic devices. Mostly they are in a most efficient way because all the power electronic devices acts in switched mode. You will not understand right now all these things, but just know all these things. Switched mode meaning their efficiency is very high, 98%, 97%. They are that much of higher efficient they are, the power electronic devices are. So power electronics is basically actually the different types of conversion: AC to DC, DC to AC, DC to DC, AC to AC. Many conversions are there. We will study all these things in the course of power electronics, but in this basic course we will uh, get to know about this thing, DC-DC converter, which you have a fixed DC voltage. It can give you the variable DC, like 200 volt you can get 150, you can get 130, you can get 75, or you can get more than 200, 300 volt, whatever you want. Okay, so that is possible, DC to DC conversion. Okay, so the chopper. And DC to AC conversion, that is the inverter. Like whenever there is a load shedding, the battery and the inverter set that gives, so the power supply battery gives DC and all the appliances runs on AC. And then this what I was talking about, the DC and all the appliances runs on AC, so the inverter will convert from DC to AC. This way it works, the inverter. So we will study here in brief, not in brief actually. This is a beginners, in the beginners level. We will study the inverter and the chopper. Okay, so that's about the power converter. And other things which you need to know for going through this power converter, I'm telling you few prerequisites. Okay, prerequisites are things necessary to know before going through this power converter module. One is the diode. Okay, the symbol is this one, diode, and this is the VI characteristics of the diode. This is forward biased, this is reverse biased. In the forward biased, diode can carry the current in one direction only, the reverse current is not possible. Okay, this is about the diode. So diode acts like a switch. This is you need to know. Another thing you need to know, that is, if there is a resistance and if you feed a DC voltage here, the current will flow. And current, let's say there is a switch. Let's say there is a switch. So the moment you close the switch at t equal to 0, the current will be this V, this is R, current will be V by R. The moment you open the switch, the current will be 0. But this will not be the case if there is a resistance as well as there is a inductance. And if you feed this voltage by a DC source and there is a switch, if you close the switch at t equal to 0, the current will not be V by R. And here the current is V by R, here also current will be V by R, but it will take some time to reach. Okay, and this is called the time constant of this circuit, time constant being L by R. Okay, so and similarly, if you open the switch, okay, and if you allow the inductor to discharge, it will not in this way, it will discharge, but it will take some time for the current to be 0. Any charged inductor cannot be opened instantaneously. That will lead to a dangerous situation. Okay, so you have to give the path. Anyway, we will discuss all these things later on whenever it is required, but remember these things. Okay, and in case of capacitor, if you feed this DC voltage to a capacitor, what will happen? The capacitor will charge to that voltage exponentially, and there will be it will discharge exponentially this way. So this is the things you need to know for the capacitors. Other things, the switch. Okay, a switch, when it is in on state, it carries the current. Current is yes, voltage is 0, because whenever this is on, no voltage is there across it. When this is in off state, current is 0 and the voltage across it will be there. Okay, so remember this thing. Okay, I think these few important things you should know for going through this power converter module, and in each module there are 10 lectures total, and the DC-DC converters will be 5 to 6 lectures, and other for inverter part. Okay, and what else to discuss? That is nothing much. Okay, I think all these are things are okay with you. You know all these things. Okay, so in the next lecture we will discuss from the beginning, that is a chopper DC-DC converter. Okay, so few other things I like to mention, that is, if you are having any queries or any doubts, you can send the mail here at the studyetech@gmail.com, or better you can put your comments in the comment box. And if you are getting benefited from the videos, please like the video, share the videos among your friends who are in need, and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for the notification for the when I upload the other videos. You will get notified. And thanks for watching the videos, and looking for your uh, feedback. Okay, thank you, see you soon in the next lectures. Okay, thank you.